What years did you serve in the Compton Police Department, and what position did you have there?
From 1988 to year 2000 when it disbanded, I started off as a patrolman, and then I went to as a gang officer, and eventually ended up as a gang investigator.
What got you into policing? What was your journey to becoming a cop?
To be honest, I needed a job. And after I applied for the job and got the job, I found I was pretty good at it. Yeah, but it wasn't something I grew up wanted to do because my dad did it. He was a farmer, but you know, life was different. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee area,
oh, wow.
The metropolitan area, which outside of Memphis, about 30 minutes outside of Memphis, but it was still Memphis metropolitan area, but it was across the Mississippi line.
And what brought you out to Compton?
Again, looking for a better life. You know, I did the Beverly Hillbilly things. I loaded up the car with my family and my everything I own and headed west.
Yep.
And it all worked out, thank God. Yeah.
You ended up as a gang detective for Compton PD.
Yes.
What led you into that, and why'd you want to do that?
Once I became a police officer, I was pretty active. I liked the active life, the active life in law enforcement, chasing guns and drugs and cars and stolen cars. And all the people that did those things were gangsters. So I got to know them pretty well. And I got pretty good at my job.
Yeah. And you said something interesting. We were talking about how Compton is kind of disarming to people, that when they come to see it, it doesn't look. You said it looks. The people come thinking it's going to be one big housing project, but it's beautiful houses and.
It's very. Most people, when they hear of Compton or think of Compton, California, especially after gangster rap, a lot of the officers once they come to California, whether vacation or on business, they would want to come and do ride-alongs with us. And when they got there, we would show them the city. Okay, when are we going to get to the projects? We only have one project building in the city. Well, 2 project buildings, that's it. Like, no way, this city got to be, no, we don't have that. This is a city with regular working people. We have documented 5,000 gangsters, and those guys are really screwed up. They do bad things to good people, and that's why you're here, and that's why we're here. So that's pretty much what's that.
Yeah, it's just 5,000, you said, screwed up guys that are messing it up for everybody else, basically.
Messing up for everybody. But that was most of our problems in Compton was the gangsters. The other people were just any other city. You're going to find the prostitutes and the drug addicts in any city. But we just had the gang problem.
What was your nickname on the streets, and where did it come from?
They started calling me Cameo. I used to wear a high top fade, and my eyes were, they still are big. The eyes are still big. And I looked like the guy that's singing Cameo. That's what I was told, the reason they started calling me that. I'm like, who's Cameo? You, fool. Like, okay. All right.
So even like the gangsters started calling you?
The gangsters, it mainly started the female gangster in Compton. She would always call me that. And that's when I first heard it was from her. And then it just kind of caught on all over the city. And I was like, when I would ask her, why are you calling me that? And she showed me a picture of the guy who sang with Cameo. This is you, is your brother? Like, no, it's not my brother. I don't know that guy. I'm doing police work because I don't have rich friends or rich relatives.
It's like they, with Brennan getting the nickname Blondie from DJ Quick, right?
Most of the gangsters had a nickname for everybody.
For all the cops?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, the most active cops they did.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember any other guy? Did Reggie Sr. have a nickname?
They just call him Reggie. Or most people call him Uncle Reggie because they have been known him for a long time. Because he worked, he was a meter reader for Edison, I believe.
I was working, like I say, for Edison and stuff. And I used to go into these neighborhoods to collect the light bill and stuff. And me being from a big family out the projects, I knew how my mama used to hide from the people coming to collect the money. So I felt bad in doing that job at Edison, turning lights off and on. But I would see the guys growing up, playing little dice games when I go to collect. And I used to help their parents and stuff. I would have to turn off the lights and stuff, but I would show them how to turn it back on after I left. So I got credit for it. So that's how I got kind of like liked in the neighborhoods, all these different little neighborhoods. That was my area in Compton. So I met a lot of these parents from different sets.
That guy knew everybody. It was unbelievable. And when I first started working with him, he sit me down and talk with me because I was this gun-ho cop. I was out there chasing people. And nobody got a break. Everybody's going to prison. You know, I don't give a crap what it is. You're going to jail. And that was my attitude until he sat me down and talked to me. Hey, he's like, hey, Ray, I like you, but I want you to work with me, but you got to change. You got to bend and give a little bit. And the whole thing is, we're not giving these guys any breaks because whatever break we give them, they're going to give back.
And just don't come down so hard. You know what I'm saying? You ain't kicking ass, taking name, almost like LAPD when they adopted Crash. It was all about, you know, you don't talk to them, you don't baby, you don't get no intel.
Roughing them up and stuff.
Like, hey, hook them up and shut them up. Yeah. Shut them up and hook them up. Not giving them anything, but relating where that you can deal with it, where they respect you as much as they would respect the police.
And once you develop that mentality, you'll be a great gang officer because you know everybody out here, and everybody out here in the gangs know you because you're active as crap. You know, like I said, guns and drugs, that was my things. And stolen cars, anything that they did, I want to be a part of it. So they were gangsters. I guess I was kind of living the gangster life too, because my gangster life was another concept of it. I was enforcing it, the laws of it, and they were breaking those laws. I had to think like them, talk like them, walk like them, to understand where they was going and be there before they got there. And by doing so, I got to know a lot of the gangster females from the Hispanic side. The black females wouldn't talk with us. They was just like hardcore, no, no, no. But if you talk with the Hispanic females and always compliment them, I learned that early. If you complimented them, because the guys wouldn't, you know, hey, you look pretty today. You look nice today. And they would learn to talk to you. They would tell you things that was unbelievable. And of course they would say, I'm not going to court. And my attitude was, yeah, Shicker, you're going to court. You just don't know it yet. But I have your name, I have your number, and when they subpoena you, you're going to have to go. And it got to a lot of Hispanic females, and we solved a lot of crimes that way. And by then, my partner, Gary, we worked really good, Hispanic gangs. And when we started working them on that angle, they were shocked. Of course, they didn't know why we heard all the things that we say because, yeah, your girl's pissed at you. And she's going to call me in the middle of, pace me in the middle of the night and tell me things that she's going to be sorry for telling me tomorrow.
Amazing.